What's up guys, Penguin Overlord here, and welcome back to Ghost Recon Breakpoint. In today's video, I'm going to go over my top 5 favorite perks that I've used inside solo gameplay. Now, there's 19 different perks inside Ghost Recon Breakpoint, and I believe that all of them have some use for gameplay. However, I think there's 5 in particular that stand out to me as being the most useful if you're going to go it alone. So let's get started. Coming in at number 5, we have the Cold-Blooded perk. Now, if you're not a fan of auto-regenerating health, and you just want more of a challenge out of Ghost Recon Breakpoint, this is not going to be the perk for you. However, I have found this perk to be very useful when under fire. Especially if I'm not playing as the Assault class, because then I don't have access to True Grit, or the 4 bars of health that Assault has. I'll typically only have the 3 bars of health for all the other classes. So this skill basically gets your health up sooner and faster. And it's been a lifesaver for me in several situations. So it's number 5 on my list. It's one you want to look into. Coming in at number 3, we have Sensor Hack. Now, you're going to be encountering a lot of drones inside Ghost Recon Breakpoint. They're going to be in the bases, they're going to be in the drone arenas, they're just everywhere in this game. So you do want to be able to sneak around them a little bit easier, and that's what Sensor Hack gives you. And it also gives you a little bit of extra damage to drones with all of the weapons in the game, which is nice. But mostly, this skill is useful for the drone evasion, so it allows you to sneak around them better, especially if you're not playing as Panther. And even if you're playing as Panther, you won't have to use the drone spray as often. So that's number 4 on my list. Coming in at number 2, we have Rolling Thunder. Now this perk, if you've seen my Behemoth drone video, you already know I love this perk. Because if you have the M82, you do a whole lot of damage to drones. Essentially 40% damage to drones. Such as the Behemoth drone, or even some of the regular ground drones, murmur drones, all the drones. You do a ton of damage. And if you combine that with Sensor Hack, you're basically doing 50% more damage to drones. And with the M82, you're basically taking drones out left and right. It's ridiculous. So it's a very useful skill to have. If you're playing as a sharpshooter and in co-op, you definitely want this skill, because if you have the M82 with it suppressed, then you can take out drones relatively quietly. I mean, enemies will still know something's up, but they won't necessarily come charging to your position. So this is a good skill to have. Coming in at number 2, we have Slim Shadow. Now, this is a simple skill that a simple perk that you unlock fairly early on, but it's one of the most useful skills, because if you're playing solo, you definitely want to play in stealth as much as possible and sneak around and try not to get detected as much. So this skill basically gives you a whole lot of extra stealth, 8 plus 80, and it gives you a little bit of agility, which I haven't found to be super useful, but hey, it's nice. But mostly the stealth aspect is really good for solo gameplay, so that way you're not detected as often, and if you do get detected and you're not playing as Panther, you can escape much better. So number 2 on my list, super important. You definitely don't want to get caught into open firefights unless you absolutely have to, or unless you've thinned out enough enemies to where you can actually control the situation. Finally, my number 1 favorite perk, without a doubt, is Ballistic Advantage. This seems like a very simple perk, but honestly, I think it's the best perk in the game currently. So this gives you 60 range and 30 handling to all your weapons. So basically, this allows you to have a more realistic bullet drop model, where basically I routinely shoot guns, with assault rifles and sniper rifles, basically anything. I can shoot out to 200 yards with like barely any bullet drop, if any at all. So it's one of the better skills to have. Plus, the handling bonus is nice no matter which gun I'm using, whether I'm using an LMG, a sniper rifle, or this fancy 416 assault special, which has a bunch of recoil by itself, but obviously I've got the handling bonus here, and of course I've got the Ballistic Advantage bonus here, which really does help tame that recoil on basically all of your guns. So this basically makes everything better. So you would have to have a very, very good reason to not have this perk equipped. It's just It's so good. It's really, really good. So that's about it for now. Obviously, I use a whole bunch of different other perks. I experiment around with stuff. Like, I like the Gunslinger perk, but it's a small bonus, so it didn't really make the list. But I like that one, too. But yeah, there's a whole lot of different perks in the game, so I would encourage you to try out as many of them as you can. But those are going to be my top 5 favorite perks that I use for Breakpoint. Hope you found this video helpful. I'm Penguin Overlord, and I will catch you all next time. Take care, guys.